All right, all you beautiful people of the internet, we've got our head gasket, so we can start assembling this freaking motor and get it put together so I don't have to worry about it anymore. I've also got a bunch of stuff in here just to kind of freshen things up. Since we pulled a bunch of things off anyways, I figured now's as good a time as any to make sure everything has nice new gaskets and is resealed. I got to get the block cleaned up, get the head cleaned up. Block's pretty much cleaned up. The head is what I'm really needing to clean. I need to power wash that, get it nice and pretty, as pretty as it'll get, and then we can go ahead and throw that on and start putting everything back together. And then the motor's just going to sit, because until the car gets painted and the ECU gets here, there's not really anything I can do with it. So at least I'll know it's good and ready to drop in and fire up. Anyways, I'm gonna get started. I will update you throughout the process, and then I will go into depth when we do the head gasket installation and torque specs and which order you torque things down. So without further ado, let's get to it. Also, if I make funny faces or am squinting, I have a migraine, so I'm trying to limit the amount of light I'm seeing because it makes them worse. But we're still gonna get things done, because things have to get done. And if you don't do them, then they won't do themselves. So that's why we're here. All right, so I got a little carried away. The head is now cleaned up. I have rotated it to make sure everything moves as it should. And I have gotten everything torqued down. So, I believe it is a 5/16 kind of 6-point Allen head. And you start, let's turn on the engine. You start on this one. So you're gonna wanna snug them all up. Don't torque them down or anything or apply too much pressure. Snug them all up first. Then you start dead center in the middle on this one right here, if you can see that, and its kind of orientation. Then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And that's going to be the torque sequence that you do it in. You'll go 25, 45, and then 65. I went 68 because I was using an extension, so I had to compensate for a little bit of twist in that extension itself. I will put the torque sequence up on the screen right here. Now that you've had a couple seconds with that, I'm going to turn you around, show you everything I've done so far, and then what all still needs to be done as far as the motor goes. I got my new thermostat housing on, along with a 160-degree thermostat. I've got new hardware for that, just so it's nice and cleaned up. I've got I don't know if you want to call it a pedestal or an adapter or some kind of spacer for the distributor. I do believe I keep this when I run the CAS with the new ECU. And then I got it's called a water outlet neck, but pretty much the passenger side coolant inlet / outlet that goes to the heater core has been put on as well. New gasket there, new gaskets all around. I need a gasket for the valve cover because I'm not throwing the old one on there. As far as the motor goes, I need to put the alternator on, get the belt all tightened up, and the valve cover and new spark plugs, and this is ready to go. The motor itself will be good, and then comes body work and getting the engine bay painted and everything before we actually put that motor in the car. That being said, I do have, let's see, a new throttle body for it. Newer throttle body, new to me. That's pretty much it. Like, I've got to make an adapter, I've got to make a block off plate for this because your BCCD went here and the new ECU doesn't use that. And then I've also got to make a plate for the return spring because they did not ship that with this throttle body. But other than that, everything engine side, motor side is done. I need a clutch and a flywheel as well because I'm not going to be using the stock clutch. I don't know when the last time this thing ran was and if it's got a stock or an aftermarket clutch. So I'm just going to change it while I'm there and not have to worry about it in the future. I think that's everything for this video as far as getting up to speed. I will go ahead and throw the valve cover on just so that this isn't sitting open. And then I will mock up a little block off plate for the throttle body. Another thing, since this is going to be sitting for a minute and I just washed all of the oil off of the head that was still remaining, I went ahead and drizzled just some 15W50. This is full synthetic. I would run a conventional or a semi-synthetic in these motors just because the lifters like it a little bit more. But I just put that on there just to protect things, kind of keep it greased up just while it's sitting. I didn't put a whole quart on there. I just kind of drizzled it over and put it on the chain and just turned it over a little bit just to kind of lube things up and try and keep them as fresh as possible while this motor sits, because realistically we're looking at 6 to 8 more weeks before I get my ECU, and then who knows when it'll actually get running after that. Well, I've actually decided to go ahead and start pulling off these exhaust studs, and this pregnant lady over here is pulling off the old headlight bucket covers. Alright, so we got new studs in. What I did was pulled the ones off of the head that had been rebuilt, and then I threw a little bit of Loctite on the ends of each of these just so they'll stay in place, won't vibrate loose or anything, and we'll be good to go. Justice also got the lower front valence pulled, and it is now on the ground, so we have room for the new one when we put that on after paint. So I think that's where I'm going to end today's video. Thank you all for watching, and come back next week for another video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Later.